military people. So there is a bond, there's no doubt about it.
Right.
Yeah.
When you were in training and you thought about what the war would be like, and then what it actually was like, were they at all what you expected?
I don't think I could have imagined that it would ever be like that. I thought, where they always said the U.S. was always dominant, and that was not the case. At the Korean War, and I don't know about all of the other
Right.
wars, but certainly for us, it was sort of a burden on us. Not that we didn't do a good job under the circumstances, but yeah.
Yeah, it was
It's
tough.
like if I keep saying it, I couldn't imagine it being that vicious. And it's a wonder a lot of people, I know Vietnam had a lot of people who had emotional conditions. And I was surprised that the numbers were not as high for the Korean War, particularly for those in that particular area.
Right.
But the numbers were not as high. So.
Right. Yeah, and did you said for a long time you sort of put it, buried it inside you for a long time until you could sort of open up about your combat experience and your war experience.
Yes.
Do you think do you wish in retrospect you had opened up sooner, or it was just the time was right at that time?
I think I wished I could have done it much sooner than that, but I don't think it would have happened. And it was a timely thing, and it was a person who actually saw that within me, and I am very grateful to her.
And her name is what?
Carol Gallagher.
Carol Gallagher.
Yeah.
Yeah. She must have been a nice woman.
Yeah, I was a social studies teacher. I knew her for years, yeah.
Yeah. Really nice.
And that was a lot of great feelings for me with all of the staff that I have known so well for years. That we got along so well.
Mm.
And we do have retired teachers luncheons over at a restaurant in Norwood on a monthly basis, not during the summer, but on the school September right out through June.
Nice. And
You showed us that letter from the Korean government about thanking you for or the South Koreans, thanking you for what you had, all the others like you had done for their people and their country. Could you talk maybe about how that felt to be to get that thank you letter from the South Koreans?
Well, I wasn't feeling guilty at all that we hadn't got that. I don't even understand why we need that, but I was appreciative, certainly, even at the later date, that maybe it was just something that country has been in turmoil for so long, and the borderline between Incheon and the parallel,
Yep.
There's been so much going on all those years. I don't think they've really had time to do anything like that. And things have been getting better.
Right.
So I think it just happened to be a good time. And I'm thankful that they've done it. I appreciate the president doing that.
Right.
And I'm not sure I'm sure it wasn't the same one who was there when the war was going on.
Right.
Probably somebody newer who
Sure.
decided, hey, we should have done this before.
Do you feel like the wall is the demilitarized zone there is still there, and 50 years later we still have troops there? In a way, do you feel like the war sort of never ended?
Yeah, I do. I still feel I don't understand why. And I know our government is still trying to push them. There's something about nuclear?
Yeah, the
things,
North Koreans now have
North
nuclear
Koreans,
abilities, yeah. The North Korea their country's a terrible mess, but I think if there's a tribute to the service of the guys like yourself and others who fought in the Korean War, is the conditions of North Korea versus the conditions of South Korea. South Korea is a part of the world, a very modern,
Stable
thriving, stable
Yeah,
country.
It is.
And North Korea is
Still
struggling like it did 60 years ago,
Yeah.
probably worse than ever. It's
And
one of
you
the
think,
poorest
when
countries in the
will they
world.
ever learn? I
Right.
don't know. It's sort of like Iraq and all those other places.
Mm.
Nothing to do with it. So.
Right. That's what you're right. I'm pretty much true. Do you have, let me say this, is there other things you wanna get off, do you wanna get put on, put out or put down? I wanna just sort of say, leave open.
Not that I know of, that covered
Yeah.
pretty much the, the entrance into the military.
Let me ask you one other question, and it's a question we've asked some of the other veterans. How did you feel when you finally came home?
Well, I think it was a great feeling to leave that kind of a circumstance, because things were still going on at that time when we left. But they just felt that we had had enough, where we had lost so many people, and anybody dealing with, death of your friends, and they probably would wind up not being very efficient after a while anyway,
Right.
emotionally.
Right.
So I was certainly glad that I could get back home and come back to the family and all that,
Yeah.
I shouldn't say the family, because technically I hadn't been married then yet.
Your future family.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Anything else? Any other questions you want to have?
I think that's it.
You good?
Okay.